I'm live, Tim. Live and ready to rock. Up top treats. Oh, I am.
Snap. You're up in
Wait.
the sky.
Yeah, no, I was down in the gutter.
That's a good start
Yep.
for
Well,
the show. But
we are back.
we are back
Back.
again.
Back again. It is February 6th, and we're gonna talk about movies today.
Movies.
But before that, we got some other stuff to talk about,
Right.
like who we are.
Who are you?
I am Parker. That's Steven.
That is me.
Tim's
Steven.
behind the curtain, but he'll be helping us a lot this episode.
Right.
And we're Up Top Treats. We love candy, freeze-dried candy in particular. We got new Star Worms that just dropped, so wherever you're getting your stuff, check them out. And if we get 5,000 likes today on TikTok, so get your fingers going, people.
Tap.
Taparoo. Then we'll give 5 away today
Oh,
at random. So if you're out there, talk to us because we'd love to engage. And if you're going to join us later and you can't engage, then just follow along and hopefully you have a good time with us. So
Right. Yeah. Obviously, follow, like, subscribe, hit all the things, whatever platform we're at. I think a fun little thing is we're gonna try to tinker with some new technology next week
that's
for the
right.
show.
yeah.
So we're basically plan is to move forward and towards more of a TikTok live based content. We're still going to try to find a way to keep the recordings audio for our audio listeners on the podcasts. So make sure you are still subscribing and following along wherever you get your podcasts. Up Top Treats Live podcast, yada yada yada. So just heads up if you're watching anywhere but TikTok live. Join us over there next week. We are going to attempt it. If you see us on any other platform, you know it didn't work right away. We'll just troubleshoot like we always do. As Parker said,
Yeah.
5,000 likes, and we will give away 5 of our Star Worms, and they are chosen at random. And then we'll see how it's feeling after the 5, and we might do another one if we hit 10. But we will see moving forward. Anyway, so
If you're really good.
if y'all are good. So we are talking about a pretty large and broad category today. We're just doing movies. Unless you have something else you want to
No, I just thought, I would just go for it. Movies.
add. Right, movies.
And I just went for whatever I could think of.
Right.
So I got some stuff on lock.
Okay.
And so just to clarify, and we've talked about this in other episodes, but Tim has extensive history in the movie culture. He worked in a video store for at least 60 or 70 years or something. And then he... I don't know. Basically, since I've met him, anytime I have a fact, which I like showing my knowledge of facts and seeing if people know or whatever, it's just kind of fun. And then he always says, yeah, and did you know something else? And I'm like, no, I didn't.
It's like a good kind of yes and situation. with
Yes,
the
and
movies.
so he's a
Jeez.
one-upper in the movie category, and great way, good way only. But anyway, let's get started.
Let's do it.
If anybody's excited, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, it's tough when you're speaking into the void.
It's
but
crickets out there. It's just you and me, dog. It's just you and me.
And it sucks, guys. Energy's low because everyone on set today is a little tired.
Everyone's a little tired, but we're not going to
trudging
complain.
through,
And
right.
we won't tell you about it.
Right.
Okay, so I got some doozies just to start off.
Okay.
No right answers except for mine. And the first one goes, what's the best Lord of the Rings movie? And what are the you have to rank the Lord of the Rings movies too from best to worst.
Okay.
Cake.
No.
Cake is in the sense of like easy. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I was like, no, Cake's not one of the movies, Tim.
Lord of the Cake.
Lord of the Cake. Throw the cake.
So me personally,
Yeah, let's see what you got.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. I haven't seen.
You haven't seen The Hobbit?
Schmaug, or whatever the last one was. I'm gonna actually go Two Towers because I really enjoy
Why?
the battle,
Which one?
the one with the wall. This I'm told you I'm
Do you
I've
want
seen
me to help you fill in?
No,
details?
no, let me suffer
no.
and
Let
then
him.
struggle.
Let him.
fix it. So, should say I'm notorious for not seeing like generational movies either at all or more than once. I've seen the Lord of the Rings movies twice. I saw them when they came out, and then I saw the like extended director's cut. They were like 15 hours long, basically, at
Yes.
a sleepover in 8th grade
Yeah.
because everyone else fell
Whoa.
asleep, and I was the only one still watching.
So
them.
it's been a
So
while.
it's been a
Okay,
long
so just rank them and get out of here because you don't
Two-
deserve the spotlight.
Two Towers, Return of the King, Fellowship.
Okay, and then hasn't seen Hobbit.
I haven't. Yep.
Okay,
haven't seen
Tim.
Hobbit.
Tim.
What I will say is 1, 3, 2, and The Hobbit stunk to no end. It's terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible
it's-
from start to end.
But there's two other movies.
What's that?
There's two
What
other.
are they?
The Desolation of Smaug.
No, that's
Yeah,
the Hobbit.
that's-
There was
that's The Hobbit.
Unexpected
So-
Journey,
So are you?
Desolation of Smog, and the Battle of the
Yeah, but that was
Five
split
Yeah,
into three movies,
it's
but you're
split into-
counting as
yeah,
one.
that counts
Okay,
as one.
That's,
The
I was
book
just
is
confused.
literally 200 pages.
Oh, okay,
200?
I see.
Yeah,
You mean 2,000?
no.
No.
No, it's short.
The Hobbit is not
Really?
that long, no. And the reading level is really low too.
Oh,
So I'm not even gonna rank The Hobbit, even though I have it up here.
okay.
But
All right,
it
fair enough.
sucked.
So here's a ding ding, your little source
You know
of
what I did
information.
like though? You know what I did like though, Tim, before you
Learn us.
help us, is the book is good.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
And the movies don't do the book justice.
No,
Like
the
obviously.
book is
usual.
cool.
Like
well, I
usual,
mean, but
for
you
the
know,
most
like
part.
the usual is fine. But
Right.
I'm telling you, the book's good. It's pretty simple, but it's really cool, and it's not that long. It's not
Oh,
written
you're
like
talking Hobbit.
yeah,
Okay,
Hobbit.
sorry.
It's not written like the normal
Ryan says
Lord of the Rings, where it's
Hobbit
a
was
little
originally written
little
as
tough.
a children's book.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for picking
Thanks,
up our
Ryan.
packages today,
Thanks,
Ryan.
Ryan.
It's not Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
All right, Tim.
So
Ding
number
dong.
one, the Hobbit was actually supposed to be directed by a guy named Del Toro. You know who that is, right?
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro was supposed to do
No, Guillermo del Toro.
just down by the Del Toro. There you go. He was supposed to originally direct it,
Really?
and when the studio wanted to expand it into multiple movies, he quit.
Oh shoot.
Oh.
And so it went.
So he
it
wanted
went-
to do like a
rightfully.
marathon one?
He wanted to do a shorter.
No,
more
dude,
condensed
it's
version.
200 pages. It's an elementary book. It
Are we
doesn't
talking
need to
Hobbit
be.
or are we talking
The
the original?
Hobbit.
Okay.
Hobbit.
All right, I'm back on.
Doesn't need to be 3 movies.
So he got kind of like he's like, I got other things I got to do. I'm not going
Right.
to spend all my time doing this. So he quit, and when he quit, they threw it back into Peter Jackson's camp, and
Right.
he didn't have any of the prep like
Okay.
what they were needing for 3 different movies. So anyway, that's part of the reason.
Maybe
why
they'll
sucks
redo
for
it
that.
someday. Okay, anyway, mine is number 1 is the best,
Okay.
and
It's the
then
most heartfelt.
the Return of the King,
Yes.
and then the Two Towers.
Yes.
Man, I'm getting
Favorite scene though is the trees, the Ints, where they're walking and they release the river, and then Isengard is flooded.
My favorite part is the Return of the King on the with the Army of the Dead.
Oh yeah,
thought that
definitely,
was cool.
definitely good.
That's
Okay,
But the
cool.
first one is so good just because
Yeah.
of the character.
and you don't know it's the character building.
the character build up and the
Shire.
love and the friendship between Bilbo and Frodo and Sam. And I just, as a matter of fact, I just watched that this weekend.
All of them or the first one?
All of them because Riley, we didn't have anything to do,
Yeah.
And
Well,
it
it
was
did
snowing.
snow.
All of 'em.
It did snow like 18 inches.
so we literally like Saturday started watching them, and then
That's the way to do it. Is to do it all at once. Long
Yes.
day,
and we
Get in
watched the
there.
uncut versions.
uncut version.
those are.
Adds another 30
Marathons.
minutes. Yeah.
Oh, almost an hour
Oh.
to each.
I was like,
Oh.
you skipped one of the only things that I'm actually going to be able to like throw an input on.
Okay, fine. You can ask this one
Okay,
too.
so the next one is what is the best way to watch Star Wars sequential order in the order they were released? I'm gonna go sequential. I've always just done it. It's fun, but you've got to remember that you got to throw like Rogue One in there. So, it's not just like the 3 trilogies.
Debatable.
I personally like watching it in sequential order. That's my favorite way to watch it.
So you watch it in the way
Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
that. Gotcha.
7, 8, 9, and then you insert the side
The side
movies.
plots.
Right. Except for Solo, I don't put that one in.
Dang.
Yeah.
We need some people to help us with these likes, dude.
No one wants free candy. so
Nobody
it's
wants
fine.
free
That's
candy
fine. More for
anymore.
us.
It's sad.
Why didn't you like Solo?
I was bored with it.
Dang.
I thought the actors were great. I mean, you give me anything with Donald Glover, and he played like a young Lando, and it was perfect. I can't remember the guy who played Han, but I thought he did a decent job. It was nothing to do with that. It's just like I don't need to see the Kessel Run. I didn't need to see it. Just didn't. I liked the myth.
Fair enough.
I liked the myth that they set up in the original trilogy. So that's just how I felt.
Fair enough.
Ding ding, the little source of information on that.
He says ding ding.
Yeah.
The
He's taking
that
off
was
with
actually
it.
directed by Solo was directed by Ron Howard,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
he only had 30 days to finish that movie.
Well, he did a pretty good
Like
job.
he
for
only had 30
days.
shoot days left.
My
and
God.
They came in and redid everything. Like
Dang.
the original two directors, I guess the like Kennedy or somebody, they were showing up on set and then they were like redoing take after take after take after take. And Solo was actually, they had another actor in the wings ready to replace him.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Man, you don't think about stuff like that. Like,
brutal.
dude, you're taking 100 takes.
The
we
movie
only have
business
10,
is
dude.
brutal.
Yeah.
Like brutal.
Yeah. For real, though.
All right, I'm gonna go back in this next section. To
I guess no
not
one
knowing
cares
anything.
about my Star Wars. That's fine.
Yeah, well,
No, it's too late.
What do you think?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
he likes to watch them backwards.
I like watching
9,
them.
8,
I like watching them the
Literally
way.
in reverse.
literally in reverse.
I like watching them the way they were released.
Okay, like 4, 5, 6.
Because
1,
the
2,
plot
3.
line, like I know where I am,
Yeah.
and there's something about watching technology get from like improve
Mhm.
always feels better than watching it get worse.
Right.
I don't know, it's just me. All
That's
right,
fair.
best Matrix movie, and there's a new one I haven't seen.
Right, the newest
The
one.
fourth one. Have you guys seen that one? The Revolutions.
I tried. I couldn't do it.
It sucked. Or...
I literally just backed out of it. I was like, I can't.
Okay. Has
But-
anyone else given it a go?
Do you need help, Tim? Oh, it went away. Okay.
It
There was a
What
pop-up
happened?
on the
Slide
screen and
back
it
up.
wouldn't go away. He was trying to swipe it down.
Nice.
I've seen the first one,
Dude.
and that's it. I don't have any interest in that.
Oh, you don't like that at all?
And maybe it's because I saw it when I was really young, and
need
then
to-
I just haven't done. I need to.
Holy moly,
You
man.
guys are gonna be so mad when we get to one of the later movies
I don't,
that I
you
skimmed
brought
by.
this topic up. I'm
I
just
know.
saying.
That,
last
listen,
week.
I have to fall on the sword and let other people.
I thought I was gonna be bad.
No, you're not. I've missed a lot of like generational movies. It's rough.
Well, glad you brought the topic up because
Yep.
you're gonna get learned today.
Yep, I am gonna.
Okay,
get
well
learned.
there's three Matrix movies
and then
originally.
Oh, yeah.
Well, gosh,
Well, I was like, you just said 4, so
I know.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so there was Matrix, Matrix Reloaded, Matrix Revolutions, and then Matrix Resurrections. Well, I
Right.
got that wrong before. Sorry. So I haven't seen the last one, the Resurrections.
It came out like last year.
The first one's the best, Matrix,
I liked the first movie for what it's worth.
and Revolutions was pretty sweet. Got to fight Agent Smith. Is that his name? Yeah. Tim, have you seen these?
yes.
Help me out. Okay, Agent Smith. He got to fight his clone. That was pretty sweet in the third one. Although the twins that were like ghosty kind of in the second one. Do you remember that? And they
Yeah.
had like the
dreadlocks.
dreadlocks. That was
Wore the
cool.
white suits.
Yeah, the white suit and the Keymaker. I thought the Keymaker was cool. That was a cool character.
And the architect in the last one.
You like the architect?
I did like the architect.
It's yeah. I can.
I
see
don't,
it.
but it wasn't my favorite. I'm like,
Yeah.
the first one was the best one.
Yeah,
first
first
one
one
was
was
great.
cool.
It's like Saw movies. Like the first Saw movie is my favorite.
You're kind of breaking a mold. Like you're, you know what environment you're coming into next after
right.
once you.
You're doing something innovative, and then you just drive it into the ground.
Wow, as he stares at his feet. Okay, Tim. Who's your favorite actor or actress? Anybody.
Oh, that's really broad.
Ooh, that is kind of tricky.
My favorite actor is Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
hands down. Grew up watching him. He's funny.
Yeah. I was a big Robin Williams fan too, not just because of his comedy, but his serious
His
roles,
serious
like Dead
roles.
Poet Society,
What about
The Birdcage. I'm just kidding.
dang dude.
It's not it.
What about what's the other famous one with the genius? He's a psych.
Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah, Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Oh,
one's really good. He wasn't supposed to be in that movie.
Really?
He was
I didn't
supposed
know
it was
that.
supposed to be somebody else. Tim.
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, because I like different actors for different reasons.
Right.
It's like
It's hard to pin it down to a favorite.
Jim Carrey is
Pick an
definitely-
actress then.
Jim Carrey is definitely my favorite comedy actor.
Mm-hmm.
Serious actor, I love Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
I think he is awesome.
What's your favorite Denzel movie? I like-
Training Day.
I like John Q.
I don't think I've seen John Q.
Yeah.
You
haven't seen
John Q.
What?
I really like
Just wait, I'm
Daniel
coming at you.
Washington's 2-episode arc on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but that's TV. But it was pretty good. It was pretty funny.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had some massive guest stars on that show. But and then for favorite actress,
John Q. His son has
it-
a
oh, yeah.
heart issue.
Okay.
Goes into the hospital, can't get it covered by insurance, so he goes kind of ballistic and locks down the hospital until they give him a heart transplant, and then he goes to prison.
that sounds pretty cool.
It's also based off a true story.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
For
2-2, Tim.
Boom.
for a favorite actress though, like damn, that's hard. There's a lot of good actresses. I'm trying to think of one that like maybe I'll think about it if I can
Dang,
think of
wow.
one. There's like so many.
But you can't name one.
Well, I mean, like I like Sigourney. Oh my God, who is it?
Sigourney Weaver.
Thank you. I couldn't say her first name. Yeah, I really like her. I guess you could say Julia Roberts is pretty solid too. There's some like generational movies.
Julie Roberts is my top for sure.
Yeah.
Pretty Woman.
She's great. Anyway,
I like Reese Witherspoon. I think she's good.
she's pretty solid. Yeah.
I mean, there's
She
a
was
lot.
kind of took the place of like the sweetheart from Meg Ryan. 'Cause
Right.
Meg Ryan dropped off the radar after she had her face surgery.
Right.
So
What's your favorite movie genre? Genre.
I really like suspense. Like
Me too.
suspense movies. Like I don't know why this popped in my head, but have you seen Phone Booth
Yes,
with was it Colin Farrell? Right.
I think so.
Yeah. It's dumb but amazing movie. Love the suspense in that. So
wasn't Kiefer Sutherland in that too?
was he? I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
remember him in 24, but again, that's in the TV
I
shows.
thought he was the sniper. And
Oh shoot, he was. I think you're right. I think he was. Oh, that's such a yeah. I might have to rewatch that. But yeah, I love suspense movies. Like action movies are cool. Comedies are probably my number 2. I'd probably go like thriller, suspense, and then comedies.
I think
For
that
sure.
I don't love. Okay, so I love stand-up comedy, but I don't love comedy films a lot. Like some of them.
Yeah.
We just watched one with Kevin Hart in it, and it was good. It's funny.
Yeah,
But
he
still,
kind of jumped the shark though.
it's kind of like, it's a lot.
But I maybe you're like this, Parker, and I don't know. Like if I'm gonna watch a comedy, I like the slapstick, like really kind of like. Is it the Farley brothers who did like Stuck on You? They did Me, Myself, and Irene. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, that one's hilarious.
Yeah.
Don't let your kids watch that.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh my
it's so
goodness.
wrong, but it's so funny. But
It's-
yeah, I
that
like
one's
the little
hilarious.
bit off base.
It's either got to be like wrong and funny,
Yes.
or it has to be like within some kind of other plot. Like I like side humor where
Yeah.
it adds to the film, but it's not the film. It's funny because
Because it's ridiculous.
or it's funny just because it's either situational or it's what characters say, but like doesn't mean the entire movie is just like
Like
supposed to be
so
funny.
Do you like
Right.
Step Brothers?
Yes, but it's just
But that's kind of like a performance that is like very Will Ferrell. John C.
again, that's
Reilly.
like dumb humor
Right.
that kind of gets old. But again, like they're just so good at it. It's
I
pretty
really,
funny.
you know what comedy movie I really enjoy and I get a lot of flack for is, and it's because like it's not like it has the best actor in it, but Employee of the Month.
Never seen
No,
it.
wow.
There you go.
It's got Dane Cook and Jessica
Oh,
Simpson
okay.
and Dax Shepard, and Dax Shepard's like literally the
Oh, dang.
funniest dude. He's so good. It's like a Costco.
I
like,
think I
spoof.
have seen this.
So that's one of my favorite movies. This is an '81 Honda. How dare you? Like, I love that movie. Anyway, but
Okay.
yeah.
Like, dude, where's my car? It's
Yeah,
funny.
it's like kind of dumb, but it's like a parody of something like really mundane. I really enjoy those.
Have you
Those are worth like getting quotes from.
Mm-hmm.
I
have
guess.
have you seen have you seen Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story?
I haven't, but
No.
John C.
Reilly.
John C.
It's like
Riley.
an Elvis spoof, right?
No, it's a
or is it? No, it's a Johnny Cash spoof.
It's
yeah.
a spoof off Walk
Oh
the
my
Line.
god, it's funny.
Oh
I
my
have
gosh.
seen it. Never mind.
It is
It's pretty good.
hilarious.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's really funny. There's one scene in there that
Yeah. Yeah.
when he busts in the room, he's like, "What are you smoking?" It's like marijuana. You don't want none of this, Dewey. He's like, "I don't want anything that's habit for me." He's like, "It's not habit for me." He's like, "I don't want anything expensive." And he's like, "It's the cheapest drug there is."
Wow. That's funny.
And he's all like, "You don't want none of this." So yeah.
Okay. Are you guys criers? You ever cried in a movie?
There's like moments that can kind of get me to tear up. Well, no, I should be straight. I'm the guy that's gonna like tear up, and Kaylee's gonna look at me like, "Okay, dude,
Oh,
like
dude,
you good."
embarrassing.
Marley and Me destroyed me. But
Oh,
that's
God.
easy. That's
The
like
dog movie?
Yeah.
Dog movies, I'll kill
Skip.
everyone.
That's not fair. Next.
But I don't like go out of my way to watch like sad movies or like
Oh,
anything
yeah.
like that. So it's like moments in movies when like
Okay.
there's like a heartfelt
Any
moment where-
evidence or
I'm trying to think of literally any. They got me.
got me?
The opening to Up is pretty rough.
Dude, yeah. I don't like watching Up. It's sad.
It's good, but it hits wrong.
I cried during Con Air when I grew up. It was one of the only movies I cried to was Con Air.
When he went to go get the rabbit.
Yeah.
Really? I was right?
Yes.
Oh!
Yeah.
I was kind of kidding, but
I was touched as a kid. Just cried my eyes out. Didn't understand how stupid that accent was.
do you
On
know,
air.
this is so atypical, but it's like the movie that made me cry
Oh.
is Saving Private Ryan.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
oh, yeah, well,
Come on.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Well,
when-
yeah.
yeah,
Seriously.
yeah.
I get it.
They give him the morphine, and then you're just
and
like,
he's-
yeah.
because that's like a big thing. It's
Right.
like these kids were 17, 18 years
Right.
old, and they're calling for their mom.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't need to see that
yeah,
shit.
that
That's
tears
upsetting.
me up.
Okay, favorite Disney. We're gonna do a little hard switch after that. Favorite Disney movie, either growing up or now
Okay.
or both.
You know, growing up, it had to be either Aladdin or Hercules. Those were like my favorites.
Aladdin, yeah.
Now I actually am gonna give a shout out to one of the newer ones they put out, Elemental.
Oh, you like that one?
Turned out being really good. Visually, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But then like the story of like like immigrants coming to like New York City and trying to fit in, and there's people that like don't accept them, and there's like mortal like kind of enemies just because of their like differences, and it's just the whole Disney thing where they're like, oh, you can be like, they love each other and they're opposites, but like they don't have to die like Romeo and Juliet. I liked that one a lot because it was like really inventive with how it portrayed it. So yeah,
Okay.
that's got to be one of my like favorite ones now. But no, I'm just gonna say a hard stance on Aladdin probably.
Oh, I love Aladdin. Yeah.
Yeah, so good, so good.
Again with Robin Williams.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Jungle Book. I
It's one of my least favorites.
wow.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty much ran through the Jungle Book. What was it? VCR tape? Yeah, that we
VHS.
had VHS. Thanks.
Yeah.
And I'd like do the hup 2, 3 in front
Yeah.
of the TV. And my favorite one now is Tangled.
Oh, Tangled,
Love it.
So good.
Love the chameleon
Yeah.
and the
Mandy
horse.
Moore does a fantastic job as Rapunzel.
Yeah, you know, of course, I've heard.
Right.
Yeah,
Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Toy Story, and Finding
that's
Nemo.
like 6 movies, dude.
Well,
I
well,
will
then if I'm
say-
gonna have to go with one, but the thing is like you got the Pixar type stuff
Oh, yeah.
versus the
Disney animation
the actual
studios.
animation, and Little Mermaid was one of the
Say
Yeah.
you're-
Little Mermaid is amazing.
Say your list again, not so fast.
Little
Mermaid,
Mermaid. Aladdin,
Aladdin.
and then when you get into the Pixar stuff, I like Toy Story and Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
Finding
Nemo
Nemo,
is
if I have
actually
to say-
dope.
Toy Story 2
Finding
is
Nemo is
my
probably my
favorite Pixar
favorite.
movie.
Toy Story and Finding Nemo are just freaking legendary.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's move on. Nope.
I have to say, yeah, I was gonna say, surprised no one said The Lion King.
Yeah, Lion King is another favy.
I mean, I love it, but I'm surprised none of us said it.
Most beautiful one though is probably Princess and the Frog.
I haven't seen that, believe it or not.
I would say art
Lame.
wise, it's got the coolest.
Also, music-wise, like, oof, Disney doesn't miss a lot. Sometimes, but not a lot.
My wife literally
My
sings.
wife.
My wife
My
sings all the songs. Okay,
Somebody says, "What about Up?" And we just discussed.
Up
Yes,
is dope.
Up is great.
Up is
but
great.
It's,
It's just a little.
It's a rough start.
It's just a little sad
Right.
when he loses his wife.
Yeah,
I'm also sad for the kid because the kid's oblivious that no one wants him around.
like the bird,
Sucks.
Kevin.
Yeah, later,
Yeah,
but not at the beginning.
Right.
He gets shunned pretty much.
right.
Okay, we're gonna move on to trivia and some did you knows, and I just flip flopped them.
Okay, cool.
You want to go first? Or you want me to?
Like
Oh, somebody said Wally.
Wally's
That's
good,
too. Oh yeah.
dude. If you ever just want to really like be worried about the future, watch Wally and take it
Wow,
way too
way to go!
seriously.
I think I read something where Wally doesn't have much dialogue in the first 30 minutes.
It didn't have much dialogue throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. So it's like they really lean on
Right.
the.
Isn't John Goodman the captain? Hold up. While we're
I
discussing,
want to
really-
say no. I think it's the dad that plays the Goldbergs in the Goldbergs.
No clue.
Isn't that John Goodman?
No,
No. Okay, hold on.
that's
Uh,
Roseanne. You're thinking,
Well,
or you're
I-
thinking the Connors.
Lilo and Stitch is also
Oh, yeah.
a great.
I just saw Lilo and Stitch not last night, but like a week ago, and I forgot how awesome Lilo is. No,
Yeah.
Stitch. Well, both of them,
Both of them are
but
great.
Stitch. I mean, he's like literally like a god type monster.
with her. She just had
Yeah.
major surgery with her like
He's
weird.
like she's like dragging him on the floor.
Right.
Like I
It's
love
Jeff
it.
Garland. That's who it is.
Oh.
As the captain.
And Jeff Garland is
Everything.
isn't he in the Goldbergs?
He's also in. He's in Daddy Daycare.
Yikes.
I think he's like Larry David.
Again.
I think you're right. I think
Again,
you're
it's
right.
another.
No, you're right. You're right.
Daddy
Mhm.
Daycare is another like comedy that's just not funny. Like I'm
It's
sorry.
got Eddie Murphy and Eddie
I love
Murphy's-
Eddie
like,
Murphy.
Coming to America is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Or,
I didn't watch the second one. Chicken
or
Little.
Chicken Little doesn't count. I tried to skip it.
As much as I respect the Chicken Little call out because Zach Braff voices.
It's
Chicken
also
Little.
I respect the artwork that goes into getting that done.
Right.
cool.
No.
No. What
Anyway,
were we saying? Crap, what were we saying? I forgot.
I don't know. I lost my train
All
of
right.
thought.
It's
Anyway.
okay.
Okay, moving on.
All right. Trivia.
Okay.
Triviers and
So-
some did you knowers.
So do you want to read the question and then us guess?
Oh yeah. It's hard for you to. I know the answer.
Yeah, I was gonna, let me ask
You can read the did
Man,
you
he's
knows.
so good at it.
You can
Okay.
read the did you
Okay,
knows.
I'll read the did you
Sorry,
knows.
I'm an idiot.
No,
All
no,
right.
no.
All right. What was the first feature-length animated film released in 1937?
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah.
Snow White, yeah.
Wow.
Of course, it's Disney, so I'm like, I have a little bit of backlog.
I even told. I tried to get these questions, and I'm like, no, make them harder, make them more difficult.
Well,
Didn't work.
listen, I've been to Disney a lot. All right.
Okay.
So
Get in there.
the first, did you know?
Yep.
And this is one of my favorite movies.
Me too.
The Shawshank Redemption is often regarded as one of the greatest films of all time, but it was a box office flop upon its release in 1994. It gained popularity through word of mouth and home video rentals. I actually knew about that. I knew that it was like, it was supposed to be like, it, you know,
A
they
big
put it out
deal.
and it was supposed to be a big deal, and it just, no one saw it basically. And then people watched it and they're like, Andy Dufresne. and like, oh my god, you need to watch this movie. That's how I learned. I sure as heck didn't see it in theaters. I would have been one.
I've probably seen this movie maybe 100 times.
Yeah.
And I'd watch it again if it was on, or if you
Oh,
said, "Hey, we're gonna
if
watch
it's-
it."
If it's on TV, like granted, I don't have that.
If I I remember being a kid and he had that little girly poster, and he pulls the
Right.
girly poster off, and,
And
there's
the
a hole,
shot- and the
and
shot-
yeah, and I was just like,
When you see like the warden and and the way they pull the camera back, it's some of my favorite.
it's
camera
so yeah, it's so cool. And then as they're doing that, he's like simultaneously like running, of course, but you kind of get both shots,
right.
and then
And
it's
when he
it's
drops
such
in the
a
rain
it's such a
too,
suspense.
like, oh, love it,
In fact, I want to watch that movie
dude. I
tonight.
know I might have to watch it.
Over the weekend, while we were watching Lord of the Rings,
Jeez, that's a lot of movies.
I told Riley, I said, I was like trying to find her movies to watch,
Oh, okay.
and that's actually one of them that I was like,
Yeah, that's one
She
that's
needs
probably a
to
little
watch that.
before her time that you would have to have somebody recommend to you. Otherwise,
Right, you're not just gonna know.
you're not just
It's
going to
one
know
of the
about it.
few movies I think on like Rotten Tomatoes that has like almost, I think it's like
It's
a
like perfect.
99% approval rating.
Something like that.
It's
yeah.
pretty spectacular.
and it's so worth the watch.
It's worth it. And it's the music in this
Ooh.
movie gives me chills.
Mu-
I don't know what she's saying, but it was beautiful. Or whatever. Okay, what film holds the record for the most Academy Awards won by a single film? And they won with 11 Oscars for the one film.
Casablanca.
No,
Okay, I don't know this one. So.
good.
The one-
Godfather.
What I was about to say that, but no.
Nope.
Okay, next I would say Dances with Wolves.
Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
11.
Dang.
11.
I'm not surprised though.
Yeah, I mean it. Anyway,
I respect the movies, but boy,
you gotta get in there, dude.
I got it.
You'll do it.
My son went.
Go
as
watch Matrix first.
No. Okay.
Aren't you a sci-fi guy?
Yeah, totally.
Literally the best sci-fi plot. Like it could even be true.
Right. You
We don't really
You
know.
don't know. Okay.
If you've ever seen a black cat walk by or Deja Vu,
yeah.
now if you watch The Matrix, you'll have a new
Respect for that.
The
reason.
reason everybody says there's
reason.
a glitch in the Matrix.
Yep.
You'll have a new
Well,
reason.
the red pill, the blue pill. I get that.
That's cute. Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta watch it.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay. Next, did you know Avatar, the 2009?
heard of it?
Heard of it? Holds the record for the longest time spent in post production for a major motion picture with over 4 years of work.
Yes.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I just watched the new one, The Way of the Water, or
Uh-huh.
The Way of Water, and at first I was like, "This is just a repeat of the first movie," and then it like kind of spiraled off into a different way, and like I actually see the point for sequels now. But I remember that movie. Visually, you can't argue it's one of the most technological, most impressive things we've ever put out. But we used to get so mad because I was like, it's just Pocahontas, just told in a different way, slightly different way. And
Yeah.
then when you, it's basically sci-fi Pocahontas. And then like when I stopped being 16 and cynical and acting like I was smarter than everyone, I just enjoy the movie for what it is. It's a beautiful piece of art. So
Oh yeah.
Did you see it in the theater?
Yes.
The original?
Yes.
Avatar?
Yeah.
3D?
not in
No.
3D. I don't do 3D in movies.
I've never had access to 3D.
There's
What
a
am I,
3D
rich?
ride at Disney World where you're like flying on a banshee. I'll do that all day.
Okay.
But I don't do 3D movies.
Oh, that's
I
not
don't either,
true.
but I saw
I did
that.
see 3D, and and I don't think I saw the first one though.
Okay.
You saw
No,
the
yeah,
newest
no,
one?
I did.
The newest one came out like last
Yeah,
year.
I'm an idiot. I did see the first one, and that thing came flying at me through the screen. It scared me.
So you saw it in 3D?
Yeah.
Yeah. When the tree was burning and
Yeah.
the embers were floating around. Oh,
Yeah. That's pretty
So-
intense.
I remember. Okay, ready for this question?
Okay.
What horror film is the only to win an Academy Award for Best Picture,
Ow. Punch my face.
in addition to Best Actor and Best Actress?
I think I know it.
I think I know it too.
Silence of the Lambs.
Wow. Yes, that's it.
Love that movie.
Very good.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Clarice.
The lamb stops screaming.
I ate his liver with some pinto beans or something.
And a nice
Some-
Lotion on the
Chianti.
Some fava beans and a nice
Nice
Chianti.
Chianti.
Nice Chianti. Chianti.
Oh my gosh. What a phenomenal. Yeah. See, that's not. Oh, you were filming it. Good.
I remember being scared out of my mind.
Just who plays Hannibal Lecter again? What's his name?
Anthony Hopkins.
Love Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
Yeah,
Yep,
and
see?
she did great too.
Yeah.
And Wild Bill, I don't know who that was, but that was freaky.
Yeah.
Puts lotion on its skin or gets a hose again. You talking about the big fat girl?
Okay.
Oh my god.
So I got some behind the scenes facts,
Okay.
and we'll see if they're true. And there's a bunch of them. So
Okay, cool.
if you've seen the movie, you can. I haven't seen all the movies either. but-
Okay.
But,
So
maybe Tim has.
Do you just want me to go through all of them? I'll just read all of them and then we comment on it, or do we want to?
Let's just go one by one. We'll
Okay.
see if we have
Okay,
anything
so
to say.
I'll open it up because if I haven't seen this, then I get the cement shoes and I get thrown into the bay. So I have seen The Godfather. Marlon Brando famously used cue cards for his lines because he hadn't learned them. This led to the iconic look of him reading his lines from cue cards. Okay. I didn't know that, but that's hysterical. Yeah, no, I've seen The Godfather. I couldn't be of Italian descent and not see The Godfather, so.
Yeah.
But that strikes me as Marlon Brando's style. Like I'm just gonna
Like looking down to the
hold
left
off.
and
Yeah.
Have you ever
pulling his cards out.
Have you ever seen there's a movie, and I can't recall, I think it may be on Paramount, but there's a movie about the making of it.
Oh really? We just got Paramount Plus for free,
Oh.
so I might have to
Oh yeah.
tune in there with our Walmart
The
subscription.
making of it.
They it's a movie, and Miles Teller is in it. And
That's pretty
guy
cool.
that's in Whiplash.
Oh,
Yeah.
this dude's just
Yeah,
making
yeah,
rounds.
Dude,
So he was
yeah.
actually Goose in Maverick also.
Oh, that guy. I know him.
Yeah, the new.
I think Steven has
So-
half of our likes.
Listen, I'm trying to get you guys some candy. No
I
one's
think
helping
yeah,
me here.
Steven's trying to get everybody else candy,
Oh my
but
god.
I mean,
Thumbprints.
if they
but
don't want it.
that movie, Godfather, was very, very threatened by the mafia to shut that down.
Oh yeah.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
And they let them, the mafia, or the mob, or the Italians, watch that film prior
look at
to
me.
it being released. What let them, like, they stole the movie, took it to them, and allowed them to watch it
Oh.
for their approval.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was intense.
How'd they know who to call?
They
I won't
had
repeat-
actually had a sit down with somebody because they were telling them to stop making the movie.
I won't repeat what my grandfather said
Okay.
when he was younger. He told me his story when he knew it was coming out because he had connections, as we say.
As
And,
we say,
And I remember asking him about it. I'm not going to repeat exactly what he said. He was just like, bunch of malarkey is what he said. Like, but in just a different way. So yeah,
So he didn't think it was very accurate.
he enjoyed it for the movie aspect, but when it came to like,
But apparently the mafia gave it their approval, so
Yeah,
it
well-
had to have been like,
of course, my grandfather he's like, nah, that's fake. I'm like, okay. Which means it was probably pretty accurate. Okay. The second one, Jurassic Park, one of my all-time favorites.
Yes.
The T-Rex animatronic used for the film was so heavy that it caused the ground to shake during filming. This wasn't planned, but added to the realism. Also, when they were doing this scene where the T-Rex came out of the broke out of the paddock, they used those big rain towers, and it started messing with the electronics, so the T-Rex would just shudder and just terrify, and it would like wouldn't respond appropriately, so it like added to like some of the fear because it would be like and like just freak out on people.
Giant machine.
Yeah, which is
I think there's only like 15 total minutes of dinosaurs in that whole movie,
yeah, and
which goes to say
They
something
do.
about the
They do
editing.
talk about this in the Light and Magic show. If you've seen that series,
I don't think I
remember the
have.
Light and Magic studio, whatever, Tim.
Yes, Industrial Light and Magic.
Industrial Light and Magic. That's totally worth watching. It's pretty much behind the scenes of George Lucas's career, build a business around special effects because it didn't exist, and they show you kind of the back end of Star Wars. And basically, as soon as technology came out, it allowed them to do another Star Wars film, allowed them to do Jurassic Park, allowed them
Right.
to do some other like movies that you and I take for granted as being just like looks good, but like no, that was like a revolutionary type of technology that was introduced. It's probably the coolest series I've seen, top 5.
Yeah. Okay. What's it? Magic. What's it called?
Industrial Light and Magic.
Industrial Light and Magic.
What is it, Tim? Do you know the official?
That's
sure.
the Industrial Light.
I think
I'm
yeah,
sure I can just
It's
look
at
it. Yeah.
Whatever.
Skywalker Ranch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
super cool. Yeah,
So
do it.
next one is another fun movie, The Shining. Famously, the exterior, and I'm not reading the fact, I'm adding my own. Famously, the exterior, you guys, if you didn't know this, of the hotel, was it the Overlook? Yeah, the Overlook Hotel is the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. However, not the inside. It's just the exterior shots. No? Tim's saying no.
No, it is not. In
Tim's got
Shining,
some.
The exterior shots in The Shining are of
Did I
I don't
get it
remember
mixed
the
up?
name of the hotel, but it's actually in like Whistler.
Okay.
It's in
Did
British
I get it
Columbia.
mixed up? Did they film inside?
No.
So what did they
Stephen
use the
King,
Stanley
Stephen
for?
King hated The Shining, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining so bad
Yeah, that's true.
that he ended up redoing the movie for TV.
Yeah, the TV,
release.
series. I saw that.
The TV
yeah.
series
Yeah.
has the actual Stanley Hotel.
Stanley
in it.
Hotel. So, I also like, and again, we'll read the thing in a second. But also, didn't he absolutely despise the lady that played like Jack's wife,
Who?
the actress?
King or
King.
Kubrick?
Or
No, Kubrick didn't like her.
Yeah, didn't like her.
He made her
Hate-
cry like almost every.
Hated her.
Would
Like,
continually make her do scenes like over and over and over
Yep.
and over, and just make her cry.
to be fair, I kind of agree with him.
well, Kubrick's kind of.
Oh, I
bizarre,
agree. Yeah, he's not great. Anyway, so here's what Parker wrote down. The famous "Here's Johnny" scene took 3 days and 60 doors to film. Jack Nicholson actually damaged the doors with an axe, so he literally did.
Yeah.
You can tell when he's hitting the doors too. Like, and it's not like they're like big, sturdy doors. It's just pretty thin. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Actually, back in the '80s, they're probably like, no, this is solid
Oh,
oak.
this is oak door.
Go through it. So
It's gonna take you a bit.
and
Jack.
to keep up with me adding another little fact for this next one, but I'll read yours first.
Okay.
So this one's The Wizard of Oz. Heard
Yeah.
of it?
Yeah.
The original Tin Man, Buddy Ebsen,
I don't know.
had an allergic reaction to the aluminum makeup, which led to a recasting of the role with Jack Haley. First of all, of course, it's real aluminum.
Oh
paint
yeah.
that they just put. It's
The list
30s.
of things in this show.
So,
the asbestos.
That's what I was going to bring up. So the scene where
The
they're
guy
getting
who-
snowed on.
the creative director like hanged himself and he's
Right.
swinging in the back.
Yep.
That's actually not true.
It's not.
No, it is not.
It's like
Oh,
the
so
one
that-
movie credit I knew.
The snow that they get snowed on with
Yeah,
is
it's asbestos.
100% pure asbestos.
Yeah.
And then was it Judy Garland?
Judy Garland.
Yeah. They made her like smoke cigarettes.
No, she smoked cigarettes.
Yeah, but
before.
they forced her to over smoke for something with her voice. I think was to keep it in like a register, and just were horrific to her. Like that movie is just awful.
Okay,
in that
so
sense.
do you know why that the guy that had the allergic reaction? Do you know who that guy is?
No.
A lot of people don't.
Buddy Ebsen.
It was actually Jed Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies, the original
Oh
one.
my god, that's so awesome.
And then also to note that when the witch disappears at the opening, when
Right.
she's coming to get her slippers
Mhm.
Yeah.
from her sister, whenever she catches on fire and disappears,
Yeah.
she was like burned like very severely during that moment. Like she actually
We're talking
got,
like Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial.
like
oh god,
severe burns
Dang.
like all over her body.
that is horrific, dude. That movie, if you read into that movie, just terrifying. Like what a horror show. Okay.
I-
Oh my gosh,
the flying monkeys, man, still freak
dude,
me
they
out.
still make
They're
me. They
freaky.
still freak me
That
out.
whole movie is so weird.
Okay.
So weird.
We
is so-
watched it 2 weeks ago, so that's the reason it's even fresh in
Tim.
my mind too.
So,
Jeez.
so okay. I'm gonna try to get through this next one fast, even though this next one, because there's the one following it is Tim and I are gonna spend a healthy minute on it. So, Titanic, 1997, love it. I had the 2 VHS set. James Cameron was such a perfectionist that he actually had the night sky digitally altered to match the stars' positions on the night of the real Titanic sinking, which I actually knew prior.
Cute.
I remember because as a kid, as a little boy, you don't care about the you don't care about the lead up.
As a little
right?
boy.
So the second half of the VHS is after it gets hit by the iceberg. So I watched that because the disaster, the famous when the guy jumps and he hits the propeller and everything like that. However, I rewatched it maybe 15 years ago. I haven't seen this movie, and the actual lead up of like the classism stuff is like just like horrific. Where Jack is also,
Yes.
he could have fit on the door Rose needs to stop being such a selfish ass. He
Yeah.
could have fit on the door. She's like, no. What if
I
you-"
love those memes that are like,
Yeah.
And you know that it
That
was
have
put
them
to
in
the
it.
test by the MythBusters.
Yeah.
They brought James Cameron on
Didn't
to
they
the show and
didn't they
show
lay,
prove that
like-
it could be that he could have fit.
that he could have been
They
fine.
laid like a few people
Yeah.
on it. It was a healthy
And he
amount.
was like, "No, they wouldn't have fit." Then they brought him on MythBusters, and he was like, "Okay."
It's like 4 people could have fit on the door.
Right. Okay.
Okay, get in
Rose
there.
was
Here we go.
Rose was his old lady. It's like, why drop that diamond in the ocean? Come on.
Seriously,
It's like you could have
come
changed your whole
on.
family's life for generations, and you
Selfish.
threw that in the water.
So, this next one is my favorite movie of all time. The Dark Knight.
Might need to see that. I might need to get a movie list going.
Right. So, Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker was so intense that some of his co-stars found it genuinely frightening, leading to real reactions of unease on screen. Obviously, my favorite performance of all time.
Yeah.
Because just the turn, because before it was like, I remember when he got cast, everyone was like, Brokeback Joker? Like, that's what everyone was saying, which is just horrific. But,
Well, I don't. Maybe this is wrong too, but he goes so deep into his role, that it potentially led to his demise.
right. Definitely was a factor.
But like, because he was in The Patriot
Yeah.
as the oldest son,
Yeah.
and just watching all of his different characters is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like they're not the same.
Dude had range.
Had range for sure.
The one of the cool things is because I own like 3 different like versions of the Dark Knight. I had like the Blu-ray, then I got the collector's edition of the box set of all 3 movies, and then I was watching a bunch of the stuff. And one of my favorite behind the scenes moments is when they explain how they flipped the semi truck just on a Chicago street. Like there's no CGI. They flipped a semi truck. Like one of the coolest things. I mean, what else? I'm gonna let Tim kind of take it from here because like his performance as the Joker, as just like this absolute agent of chaos, was like my favorite portrayal of like that type of character that just comes in and is just there to
Just
upset the order.
wrecking, yeah.
The one thing I have to knock the movie is when Harvey Dent, after he gets burned, is sitting in the hospital and the Joker's dressed up as the nurse and he has the mask on, and Harvey's like. And then he takes it down. He's like, just
Yeah.
recognizes
Like
him.
Shocked.
Hi. Like it's
Shocked.
so good. Hi. Like so.
dog.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know what to do with if I caught it.
I really liked the
Yeah.
like the beginning of that movie when there's the several bank heists.
Yeah. Great.
And I'm like following it. I'm like, okay, this bank heist guy's in charge, and then like he gets knocked off, and then like all these different, I don't know, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So, one of the interesting tidbits of that movie is the hospital explosion.
Oh
yes. Yes, I've heard about this.
Have you seen it? Okay,
yeah. I've seen it. Yeah,
you have seen it. The hospital explosion.
yeah.
The hospital explosion was completely unexpected.
His
I mean,
reaction.
they knew it was going to blow up, but what they didn't know is that he was supposed to walk to the camera, push the button, and it was supposed to explode. He walks to the camera, and he hits the button, and he stops. And then he just kind of looks at it and starts going. And then he like turns around, he kind of throws his hands up, and then he turns back around, then it explodes. That
So they
was,
got
There
that
was a
on
delay.
film.
There's a
real-
delay on the explosives.
Yes.
They didn't go off when they were supposed to.
I see.
So that
And they
whole
just left
reaction
that
is a
in,
legit
where he's
reaction.
just like, "Beep, beep,"
Yes,
which is
and-
hilarious
and
in
then
the
it
movie.
explodes, and then
So
he like
good.
climbs into the bus, and the bus drives off.
Right.
Yeah.
So his acting, like he slowed it down and then allowed
Just a
allowed it to be
master
used.
class. Just a master. And the thing is like, we sit there and we always talk about Heath Ledger. Christian Bale did a great job. I think Christian Bale was a better Bruce Wayne than he was a Batman. You know, that's okay. Where are the drugs going? Like,
Yeah, it's
I
hard
don't know
to-
how he did that.
I
And,
can't. Yeah, it's a little much.
but this city. I can't do it.
I'm Batman.
Batman.
Yeah, he's hard to understand.
But
I'm like,
then-
am I watching Lord of the Rings?
but
Like,
then
this guy sounds like some
Harvey
weird.
Dent was a great arc in that. You had, you had that carryover from Batman Begins with, oh my God, what's his name?
Gary Oldman.
No, who played Scarecrow?
Oh,
Peaky
Sil-
Blinders. Like,
Yes.
what's his name?
Oh, that guy.
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, that
Just
guy.
he was great.
Yeah.
You had that carryover from him, and then just like you have Gary Oldman, who's one of my favorite actors of all time. I forgot to mention him. That's stupid. And then you have Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox,
yeah.
which is great.
Super cool.
And then you have like all these other things, like the mob sub story with like the Falcons and everything is so good. On top of it, you could have made a movie just out of that. Anyway, we would need to do an entire episode on the Dark Knight.
Which
Go up one more, Parker.
which
Right.
also did you know that Robert Downey Jr. had read for the Scarecrow,
Did he really?
and Murphy, Cillian Murphy,
Yeah.
was actually wanting to be Batman.
Yeah, that's right. I knew about that. He auditioned for Batman. But
Because Nolan's also notorious for keeping the same actors
Oh, yeah.
across multiple movies.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy.
Yep.
Even darkness is your
I love that version of Bane, even though it has no basis in the comics. We got to keep going, or else we'll spend another hour on the Dark Knight. So
Yeah.
another
That's a red.
movie. I don't know if anyone's heard of it, but Star Wars, the original. The famous line, "I've got a bad feeling about this," is said in every Star Wars movie, becoming a reoccurring phrase in the franchise. I did know that.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's I think it's uttered at least twice by Harrison Ford. Definitely in the original. Is it the original? And then in
No, that's the one I
new
remember.
Disney trilogy, I think he says it another time. Or no, that's Poe Dameron. That's who does it. Again, sorry, excuse me. Anyway,
Yeah.
um,
Hard pass on that. Don't
yeah.
know.
Jaws is the next movie.
Oh yeah,
up.
this one's good. I knew this one. I think.
The mechanical shark named Bruce frequently malfunctioned. I almost called him Broop. The mechanical shark named Bruce frequently
Hi,
malfunctioned
Bruce.
during filming, which led to Steven Spielberg using suspenseful music to build tension instead. Hence the dun dun. I
That's
know
the first song I learned on piano.
that thing was also a nightmare. Anytime
Yeah.
you put animatronics in water, you're just asking for it.
Especially back then.
Yeah.
75, I think, is when it was made.
77.
No. 75. Tim's got it.
Yeah.
And then what else? It actually, Steven Spielberg had said, like, after that movie, he'd never do anything on water.
On water, right?
Just because he said the
Nightmare.
technological problems.
Just
and,
nightmare. And then
and
nowadays,
the salt water
yeah.
got in, salt
Oh,
water
yeah.
getting in the camera.
Yeah.
And the lenses, all of it.
Wasn't that filmed in Jersey?
I'm not sure.
Or
I'm not sure.
I think Jaws was filmed. Maybe it takes place in Jersey because it was playing off of the New Jersey and New York shark attacks from like the early 20th century.
There's some funny is the animatronic was named Bruce.
Yeah.
Finding Nemo, the
That's
shark.
why I said, "Hi, Bruce."
Oh, there you go.
Parker had it like 10 minutes ago. So
Sorry.
So here's where you guys are gonna get mad at me. Here comes the first.
You've
movie
never
on this
seen.
list.
You've never
I
seen
own
Fight
it,
Club.
and I haven't seen Fight Club.
Yikes, bro.
I
We don't talk about it.
Own it.
Bro.
We don't talk about it.
Okay, so this obviously is a spoiler for me, but it's fine. I've had a lot of people spoil.
Yeah,
moments.
you're way past the threshold.
I don't care about spoilers.
This part of the movie has nothing to do with the parts
overall.
you need
I
to
know
see.
all
yeah.
the twists and
No,
turns
you
and
don't.
everything. I do. I had somebody.
Don't say you
literally
know
say
it if
Oh,
you
yeah,
haven't
you hadn't
watched
seen it, you
it.
don't
I
know.
haven't
Yeah,
experienced
you don't
it.
really know.
I have
You don't
somebody
know.
who has told me the plot.
Exactly. Doesn't
Um,
count.
Doesn't
All right.
count.
So, Fight Club, to achieve the effect of the buildings collapsing at the end of the film, they used a mix of practical effects and computer-generated imagery, also known as CGI. I know they did this in Star Wars too. Like they did this in a lot of that, where they build like miniatures and then do it there, and then add the effects in afterwards. So yeah,
Or they even had like a, like the effects were like set up kind of in a, timed pattern. So like if something was moving, then things would blow up along like with the miniature stuff.
yeah.
Okay, have you seen Back to the Future?
That's that's like one of my favorite trilogies. So yes,
I
I
know.
have seen this, and I actually knew this because I have a collector's edition, so I watched all this stuff. So, Back to the Future, Eric Stoltz was originally cast as Marty McFly, but was replaced by Michael J. Fox after a few weeks of filming due to differences in comedic timing. What show was Michael J. Fox on?
Family Ties.
Family Ties.
Spin City.
Spin. Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong, but it's not what I was talking about. Yeah, I did. I know they replaced
Mighty
him.
Ducks.
Mighty Ducks.
Oh yeah, which Mighty
Oh
Ducks
my
is the
God.
best? It's the first one.
The first one. It's not even a question. Okay, yeah, no, I knew that.
The Bash Brothers.
Okay, so here comes a movie that I have seen, but actually, this was the first time I got scared in a movie.
I didn't
a
like
kid.
this movie either.
And
It scared me.
It's the part when they come in the hazmat suits, just terrified me.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I
that's
just the
what it was.
actual little guy scared
Oh, really?
me.
E.T.?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no. So E.T., the extraterrestrial. The voice of E.T. was created by a combination of sounds from various animals, including sea otters, horses, and raccoons. Yeah. I also, fun little fact, at Universal Studios, there's an E.T. ride where you ride the bike and you like fly through. We got stuck on that ride for like 2 hours. Yeah, it was bad. Okay, I'm going to try to go through this quickly because I know we're coming up on and we want to get to our questions at the end. Gladiator, another movie I haven't seen.
Dude,
I know. Russell Crowe, too. It's a,
I will say I could have cried in this movie too.
yeah.
They basically find out that he was supporting call it One King. His
Yeah.
son took over. His son basically call it raped and burned his wife and daughter, and so he comes home to find them like hanging, burned, and you can just see him like coming up to her foot and like crying, and
Jeez.
it's pretty gross. And then
Sheesh.
it gives you enough fuel for him to fight for his cause, I guess, for the
Yeah.
next 3 hours.
So, this one's about Gladiator, but before I read it, guys, you got to get like 3,000 more likes to get these star worms. If you don't want it, I'll just eat them. So, fine. Be sad about
I'll
it.
eat them too. Somebody said they were good.
Yeah, I did see that.
That's good.
Gladiator. Russell Crowe suffered multiple injuries during filming, including a dislocated shoulder and accidentally being hit in the face with a sword. Now, I'm
That sounds like
assuming it's
that sounds like you're a Celebrity Jeopardy.
yeah, hit in the face
Hit with a face with a
A
sword
sword
for 200.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
No thanks.
You got to see that movie too.
I'm gonna add in a quick one that I actually know. Did you know in 1982's, I think, The Poltergeist, that when they fall into the body pit, those skeletons were real. They're actual, like, human skeletons. And they didn't tell the actress until she was literally hanging on to one of them. Wild. The
Yeah.
stuff they used to do in movies.
Yeah, and that way they get like an organic reaction.
It's like, I'm
Oh, good.
cool. I just got 8 diseases. Thanks.
Mhm.
Okay, Forrest Gump, another one of my favorites.
You've seen this one?
Yes.
Oh,
I've
good.
seen this one a lot.
Oh, good.
Tom Hanks wasn't
What's your
actually
favorite-
running during the long cross-country running scenes. A stunt double ran in his place, and Hanks' face was digitally added in later. I did not know that.
I didn't either, but
Makes
I have
sense.
seen him run, and it's pretty woofed up.
Oh, okay. Okay, what were you going to say?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, what's your favorite, call it, Forrest Gump era of the movie? Because he basically time travels. Like you can't get to all the stuff in the movie in one
I am quite
lifespan.
partial to I'm sorry about ruining Black Panther Party.
You like that?
When he's doing, like, the USO tour, basically.
Yeah, and doesn't realize
yeah.
any of the racial conflict.
Right, right.
Uh huh. What about you, Tim? What's your favorite?
I got it.
Take Jenny back to Greenbow, Alabama.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
That's my
Actually,
favorite part.
my favorite
But the
scene,
hippie, I like
my
the hippie
favorite
stuff.
scene probably is at the end when Jenny shows him his son. And
You like
is
that
he
part the
like
best?
me? Like, he
Oh. Mm-hmm.
just recognizes the whole time. He's smart. And I'm just like, there you go. There's
Yeah,
her point.
you
I just
cry.
bawl,
You can cry
bawl.
right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no, that is Jenny's also an ass.
We missed you.
She risked him with AIDS.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the Jenny memes.
Jenny.
Jenny.
I may not be a smart man, but
I
do
really
know
like
what
the-
love is.
I really like the military deployment.
The Vietnam part is
The
Something
Vietnam.
jumped up and bit me in my butt.
You're gonna get that cut. You're gonna get that caught on a tripwire. And then he's like, they're like, don't salute, or I don't know, like, don't salute me. What the hell's wrong with you? Or I don't know.
Right.
And ticks. Well, I don't know where ticks come from.
I do enjoy when he's listing all the shrimp.
Yeah.
At the end, that's about it. And then
And
just
then
like stop and look
they
at each
stop
other. Yeah,
with
they
the
keep
brushes.
On the floor.
They keep going again. Yeah.
Or he's like, Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs.
Dad, you ain't got no legs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably top 3 movie ever.
Yeah,
Right.
it's-
So good. All right. So we got another one on Avatar,
Yep.
which this actually goes a little bit into more what you had earlier. So the film's extensive use of CGI and motion capture led to a longer post-production period than the actual filming, which took over 4 years to complete.
Yeah.
God. That's why it took like almost 20 years between sequels.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they
that's
even wanted. They didn't even want to try for a while, right?
It's the rendering.
The
It's
rendering of
all
it.
the
Well,
digital stuff is
It's
what
just
takes a
in
while.
and the detail.
And then the work
too,
on it
like,
all. Yeah.
So, funny enough, the last movie I've seen, but I haven't seen Fight Club, Casablanca. Ingrid Bergman, I love that name,
That's pretty sweet.
did not know which of her 2 leading men she would end up with until the final scene was filmed, as the filmmakers were still deciding on the ending. Dude, the 40s, man. Like,
Yeah.
Early filmmaking like that, just absolute wild west.
Just get it out there.
Yeah, just figure it out as we go. Right.
It's fine.
Okay, so I'll fire off some questions at the end here.
Okay.
You guys, oof,
Even worse than last week.
even worse than last week. Like, Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof.
Woof. Yeah.
All right, so-
it's got to be us.
It's got to be something. Maybe next week's shakeup will change it around. So I'm gonna ask you guys, and then I'll comment last. But so, what movies have the best music soundtracks? So I'm gonna split this into 2. We're talking soundtracks like songs, songs, and then go with orchestral arrangements. So give me one with literal actual music. Well, they're both actual. You know what I mean, right? Like songs like that you hear on the radio, bands,
mainstream.
and then orchestral
Okay.
arrangement.
I'm gonna go with Save the Last Dance.
For which one?
The theatrical
The
one.
theatrical one, the orchestral one?
Yeah, the orchestra for Save the Last Dance.
Okay.
There's so many cool like hip hop and R&B songs on Save the Last
That
Dance.
is very underrated, but correct.
Thanks.
Yeah. And what about
Super good.
orchestral?
I was-
Anything by John Williams.
I was thinking something like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, like stuff like that. It's
Danny
just
Elfman.
nuts.
Right. What about you, Tim?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
For orchestral?
Mm-hmm.
Suck, took mine, but
Oh.
yes, but you're right.
That one is
And
good.
then for mainstream music, it would
Yeah.
either be a lot of people
Footloose.
like yes,
Just get knocked out at the end of the show here.
would be Forrest Gump.
Dude, that is a good
You
soundtrack.
know what? That's true. There's a lot
Okay.
of good ones.
So I'm gonna go a little more modern with my mainstream music. I'm actually gonna go Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
All 3 movies have one of the best soundtracks, but if I had to pick one of them, the first movie just nails it. Orchestral, Tim took mine. Like,
Pick another one.
um,
Dun 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 dun. Do you know when they walk under the water with a canoe that you can't do that?
yeah, that's not a thing. Especially in like what time frame was that? Like, there's no way that was like super watertight. like, there's no way there wasn't just like. But you know what? I'm actually gonna go with. This is a wild one. One of my favorites, and it's just nostalgic, is the movie Book of Eli. That orchestral arrangement. I think that's still Danny Elfman, but still, like,
I don't know that.
I'm
Ooh,
not sure.
Somebody says Grease.
Grease is good.
I love
The
Grease.
Bodyguard. Okay,
I
cool.
used to watch Grease growing up. Loved that.
Hey, Big Baller, shoot us a DM. We'll
hook
send us
you
your
up.
address. We'll send you some candy because you've been keeping the chat afloat.
Yeah,
Just
appreciate that.
DM Up Top Treats here on TikTok, and we'll figure something
Maybe
out.
tell us what you want to.
Yeah, tell us what you want. Take a look at the catalog. Okay,
All right.
so
Well, that's enough for today.
Oh,
Huh?
you don't want to. You don't want to. I gotta ask
No.
the snack
Why?
because popcorn.
Popcorn. Fine.
That's my favorite.
Okay,
word to say.
one more, and we're gonna close this
Okay,
sucker
cool.
down.
Okay,
Okay.
so popcorn.
What's my favorite snack?
Go-to movie snack?
Tim. Mine's
Because it's related.
mine's
to candy,
mine's
right?
Mr. Pibb.
It's not
I get a gallon of Mr. Pibb and some Sour Patch Kids, and I go to
Oof.
town.
And then you just heartburn.
And then I just and then I throw up after the
You
movie.
throw up after. A cherry Coke and
Oh.
popcorn. Just
Dang, Tim.
Buttered popcorn. It's
right.
the traditional.
What about the
It's,
soda?
That's
We
pretty
compare
lame.
soda.
Yeah.
Uh,
What about your soda?
Dr Pepper.
Yeah.
They don't have that.
Dr. Pepper's my favorite. That's why I always go. Mr. Pibb's a
So-
great.
So
substitute.
Mr. Pibb is kind of like Dr. Pepper, but it has more sugar.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
Dr. Pibb is. I think it's made.
Dr.
By Pepsi.
Pibb.
Doctor
Oh yeah,
Who?
Mr. Pibb. Sorry, and I think it's made by Pepsi.
I don't know.
Dr. Pibb.
That's for another show.
That is
We should
for
have a
another-
whole beverage show.
We should
Next
have a
week,
playoff.
baby.
Next week,
Next
A
week, we're
beverage
doing
playoff.
beverage playoff. It'll just be you, us three, and Big Baller.
and Big Baller.
Yeah,
'Cause
okay.
Every Mountain Dew flavor hits, dude. Shoot us a DM. We got to get you
Yeah,
something.
that's
Okay,
probably good.
guys. Thank you so
Okay.
much for tuning in, all two of you. Yeah, follow us on all our socials. I'm really going to start plugging the TikTok because, as I said, next week we're going to be moving to a mainly TikTok live stream platform. We're still going to try to get you the audio versions, so make sure you're following us on the Up Top Treats live podcast wherever you get your podcast. Those usually go a day or two
Or
later,
a week if
or
I
a
don't do my
week
job.
if Parker forgets to send the file, but that's okay. So you'll be able to get 2 for the price of 1 later this week. Follow us here on TikTok. Make sure you are checking out our shops on Amazon, TikTok shop, and then also uptoptreats.com where you can get a couple of exclusives. We are finding a bunch of stuff. We're making up a bunch of cool like multi-packs. We're really kind of ramping up here. So yeah, make sure you're following all the socials, guys. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for tuning in. Big Baller, DM. All right, we'll figure it out. And better luck next week, you guys. I got to start seeing these likes. We're
Yeah,
not
this is
dropping it
bad.
below 5.
This is bad.
Maybe we need to be more entertaining, but
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's on me.
no, it's all good. All right, everyone, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.